Again to Tingen Williams. Today we're going to talk about when it's a good idea to hire a Virginia attorney after a traffic accident. And we're talking about personal injury claims. After your traffic accident, you're dealing with the insurance company. When is it a good idea to get an attorney? What should you do? And how should you kind of proceed? So the first thing to talk about in these traffic cases is, do you have a claim? And then how much is it likely to be worth? So in Virginia, I want to start actually, though, answering that question, do you have a claim? So in Virginia, there's this legal concept called contributory negligence, which basically means if the accident is 1% your fault and 99% the other person's fault, even though it's just 1% your fault, you're not entitled to any recovery. Now, of course, insurance companies will compensate individuals who pay for medical bills and those kinds of things. But if they're not offering any kind of settlement, or if there's just doesn't seem to be a lot of money on the line, or the insurance company is just telling you straight up, hey, this is your fault, so we're not going to pay you anything, you might want to talk to a lawyer to make sure that that's for real. We've encountered cases where the insurance company would make a lowball offer to a client and then say, and besides, you contributed to this accident, so you're not entitled to anything, when that wasn't the case at all. And so establishing legal liability is important. And so if the insurance company is accusing you and you're pretty sure, hey, this accident was not my fault, the other guy was speeding or they ran a red light or whatever, if the insurance company is saying, well, it was your fault, or you contributed to the accident, talk to a lawyer. Make sure that the insurance company isn't just jerking your chain, because you might have a very strong claim. Now, so that's one of those times when you definitely need to go talk to a lawyer. So let's answer the question, how much is your claim worth? So if you've been rear-ended, say, for example, and it's just a fender bender and there's no real injury to you, a couple of weeks have passed, there was a quick statement with the insurance company, no real repairs to your car, no real damage to your car, and no real damage to you, or maybe you just have a little muscle soreness, you might want to talk to a lawyer. You might want to make sure you go to a doctor and get yourself checked out. But a lawyer isn't likely to take a case that doesn't have a high dollar value. And one of the reasons for that is, let's say the case does go to court. Well, that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. Good lawyers go after cases that are worth it for their client, that are worth it for themselves. So a case under, say, for example, $5,000, most lawyers aren't going to take. One of the reasons for that is because you can bring it yourself in small claims court. You don't need a lawyer in that instance. If you've got less than $5,000 worth of damages and you know that this is not your fault, you can file in small claims court. And if a lawyer shows up in small claims court, well, then they'll kick it up to general district court. And that's a little bit more involved. But for some of these smaller claims, you might be better off just going in and taking care of it yourself. Now, of course, the insurance company might show up to small claims court via an attorney, at which point it will be elevated to general district court. And you might, at that point, consider getting a lawyer, because court rules and procedure gets a little more complex the higher up this court organization goes. So in Virginia courts, there's small claims court, which is part of the general district court, but it's designed to streamline the process for low dollar amount claims or claims under $5,000. General district court, you can bring cases there for up to $25,000. So there are some very good personal injury attorneys that won't take cases under $25,000, and they won't operate in general district court. We currently do take cases in general district court, and so we're happy to talk to you about representing you in those kinds of claims. And then, of course, if there's an even higher dollar amount, if there's more value on the line, or loss of enjoyment in life, or a high amount of personal injury that you've sustained as a part of an accident, both in terms of property and in terms of bodily injury, that's one of those times when you definitely need to talk to a lawyer, especially if the insurance company is trying to get out of it by telling you that you contributed to the accident, that it was your fault, and you're pretty sure that it's not your fault. So these are circumstances where you want to talk to a lawyer. It's helpful to understand kind of these dollar amount limits and in which court you would end up litigating your case if it went to litigation. Because again, in these smaller dollar amount cases, the court procedure is simpler. insurance companies are going to be a little more willing to just hand that off to an attorney and take care of it or settle. But when it comes to these high dollar amount cases, if you've got a good claim, they're not going to fight it too much once you get a lawyer involved. So let's talk about the role of the lawyer in these personal injury cases. It's all about money for the insurance companies. They want to maximize what they receive and minimize what they pay out. So if you've been in an accident, even if you're entitled to certain kinds of compensation, they're under no obligation to offer that to you or to point out to you, oh, by the way, you qualify for this, that, or the other. That's why it's important to talk to a lawyer who has experience, who knows a little bit more about this process than you probably do. Unless, of course, you're an insurance claims adjuster who happens to get in a car accident. But your lawyer will be able to help you ask for the kinds of damages that you are entitled to receive. And damages is just kind of the legal term for the dollar value of your injury. And so it's helpful to talk to a lawyer who can tell you how much your case is actually worth, whether or not you are liable or contributory negligent. And that will help guide you whether you should settle or keep pushing. And then a lawyer can frequently get you a higher dollar settlement value than you could have gotten on your own because they're more familiar with the process, more familiar with the insurance company, and they can help you get what you deserve. So if you have any questions about what to do after a traffic accident, or you'd like to hire an attorney or talk to one, give us a call, 804-477-1720. You can also find more information on our website at tingenwilliams.com and our YouTube channel, where we'll have content and videos about this topic and related topics. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you at Tingen Williams.